Let me actually go to the freaking.
Yeah. It look like we live. All right, this is First and Framerates, episode 53. We're still waiting on Bills. I know he's doing his thing right now. I know he'll be here shortly. Got a lot to talk about in this episode. A lot. Can you hear me okay, DJ?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to make sure everybody else can.
Yeah, I just had to switch to the main YouTube.
I got to find out what that noise is.
What are you hearing, like an echo?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we'll just roll with it.
Yeah, because I hear it in my earphones, but I don't know what the hell it is. Let's see.
Yeah, about to say, what are we going to talk about today? Because we got stuff lined up.
Yeah, we got a lot lined up. I just want to know what that noise in my ear was. I had no idea what it was, but definitely we're going to talk about this article that came up earlier today by stickskills.com. Want to talk about that. Also want to talk about the AAF, the schedule that's coming up starting February 9th, the games, and talk about who's playing on what team and what our thoughts about that. I know you two guys didn't play Apex Legends, so
and will not be playing Apex Legends.
I'm actually surprised at that. It's actually a really good game, but I don't want to talk about that part of the game. I want to talk about how they released it and the format of the game. It's very not EA like, and we can talk about like real sports all the time. We always do that. So we can talk about the NBA, what's going on, with the trades or whatever. I guess a little bit of NFL offseason. I guess that ties in with the AAF schedule. I know Rex Dixon put out a tweet earlier today, but that'll tie in with what we're going to talk about with Madden. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is going to be ad-lib for the most part. DJ, what's going on with you?
Nothing much. I know it was fun last week dropping in unannounced, but
hey, it made good. It made it good for the podcast.
I'm sure it did, but it was still random nonetheless. But like everything else has been good. Like this week has been going good. You know, just seeing what happened with John Wall for slip and fall in his home. Now it looks like we're going to have two mainstays in Washington that will not be playing in their respective sport for the next year. So,
yeah, I saw that. And the first thing that came across my mind was Darren McFadden. That's the first thing that I thought about. Bills, what's going on with you, man?
Chilling. Had a good show on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Watched the Super Bowl. Obviously, we won. We'll get into that in a little bit. Watching free agency like a hawk because this is interesting stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, not only just in the NFL, but the NBA free agency is going to be interesting as well. But I know NBA is going to be a little bit further down the road. NFL offseason just started. And with that being said,
I should have said trade deadline. So I should have said.
Yeah. I mean, that's
the trade deadline's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what's really going on right now with the trade deadline in the NBA. A lot of that's going on. But I really want to get into this article right here by stickskills.com. They put out a pretty good article about why Madden, FIFA, NHL never seem to improve. Now, I kind of disagree with the NHL part. I can't speak for FIFA. I don't play soccer, so I mean, you guys know way better than I do. But NHL is from 15 on. I've been dabbling in that game, and that game is improved in my eyes significantly. Madden, not so much. Before we get into this article, what are your thoughts about it, DJ? I know you read it. It's something I want to really explain about this article. But what are your thoughts first?
First of all, I would like to say to anybody who's defended any Ultimate Team or whatever over the years, because I've always said the Ultimate Team was the devil. Fuck you. I'm glad this article came out, honestly, because it just shows that it's all about the money in the end. And what that article basically showed me, I didn't even have to read it that much because I understand financials a bit. And that graph showed me everything I needed to know. Everything is rooted as far as the revenue in the live services department. So when you talk about live services, you're talking about Ultimate Team, you're talking about battle passes, because they are talking about EA as a whole, not necessarily EA Sports, but specifically we're dealing with EA Sports. We're talking about the Ultimate Team aspect of it, of buying packs and coins and all that. So like I said, the moment this Ultimate Team started in the EA Sports side of things is the moment all the other modes and the moment that gameplay started to take a hit. So I know recently gameplay has received an uptick of resources, but the other modes, like the mainstay modes, have been bone dry. I'm like definitely looking. I think NBA Live has suffered the most.
Yeah, and I don't think that like you said, I don't think it's the gameplay per se, because we do see some improvements in gameplay. We're not blind. The problem is you look at the modes in general. That's where it really shines, where you can tell that there's a problem with, the priorities of the game.
Yeah, so I just know that I'm glad that I have spent no time, 0 seconds, no money. Unlike some commentators that are out here making breakdown videos, whether it's, people who make good breakdown videos and people who make too many breakdown videos, but contribute to the mutt all in the same. So it's kind of like you're contributing to your own complaints.
Right. Bills, have you had a chance to look at this article? Is Bills there?
I'm looking at it right now. I see the graph, which is pretty self-explanatory.
That's what I'm going to get into now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to get into that. But what are your thoughts based on you skimming through it so far?
Color me unsurprised. I don't think any of us were surprised by this. I think we've been talking about this for years. We've been talking about how these Ultimate Team modes have killed other modes like franchise and killed the progression of the game in general. And this just further illustrates it. But of course, you have the EA stands and the corporate, excuse my language, corporate cocksuckers who are out here telling us, oh, well, it doesn't affect that portion of the game. Yeah, bullshit. Please.
Yeah,
I mean seriously.
No, seriously. Like, I agree. This is one of the main reasons, honestly. I got into making videos and I started my virtual footballer channel based on trying to make the game better. That's what my main goal. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a big gamer. I play a lot of different games, but my particular goal on YouTube was to try to help make Madden a better product based on what we had in the past. Now, when Madden 12 came out, that's when you really started to see these coins and the Ultimate Team and all that. I just thought it was a side little mode that, they'll just have out. I never thought in a million years that it'll blow up to something like this. But now, once I realized that people are paying, I didn't even know how much money they were making off of it. When I realized people were making purchases off MUT in the hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, that's when I knew that Save 65 and making the game better, it was that shit was gone. That shit was completely. Why would you make a game better when people are willing to play a low quality product where they're making a shit ton of money? Why would you make a game more sim where people are playing a fantasy type of mode, doing fantasy stuff and throwing money at it at the same time? I mean, I retweeted a tweet earlier where Michael Vick literally ran back 40 yards. He turned around, threw off his back shoulder, off his back foot, over his back shoulder, 57 yards on a dime in a MUT game I saw on. I mean, you can see it if you go to my Twitter page. Stuff like that. People love that kind of stuff. So with that being said, why would anybody try to make a game to where you can't do that? Well, at the same time, people were willing to pay hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars to do what that clip just showed.
Well, and also what this mode creates is a form of Stockholm syndrome. You see a lot of these people complain about this mode daily, but they're still playing it.
Right.
Even to the point where they'll defend it to people like us.
Right. Like,
And
yeah, I mean,
it's hilarious.
yeah, it is. I've seen people really saying that a game can't be realistic because it's a video game. And, you know, I get the video game aspect of it, but you have to understand that Madden, hell, even 2K, 989 Sports, there's other sports studios out there that were built off realism. Even back in the Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, hell, you can even probably go back further than that. They built their games off realism. I mean, you can't go and play and I hate to pull this up because, you know, this title was a laughing joke right now. You can't go back and play Joe Montana football back in the day and try to do real type foolishness. That game was built off realism, even though it was a low sprite 16-bit game. The old Maddens, Madden 94, you know, from way back then, you know, Madden on the PS1, you know, definitely Madden on the PlayStation 2. They built their, and you know, the thing about it is, even with the Madden cards on Madden on PS2, Madden, the Madden cards still kept the umbrella of their form of realism in the game. It was no crazy fantasy where you could take a fullback and try to make him as a quarterback. You still couldn't do that. Like, even if you got the Madden card of Steve Young, you were not about to put Steve Young at, you know, slot receiver. It wasn't happening.
Another theory of a money grab though. So I dug into MUT just a little bit because I got bored with the franchise mode this year.
I got scammed into it.
Well, yeah, so I was playing Madden 19. I played MUT a little bit, and it's amazing the screw jobs that you'll run into in that mode offline. And I think the point of them doing that, of them making the gameplay so garbage, is so you can buy more cards, so you can buy better cards. I had some of the best cards out there, and I was getting screwed over by the computer when I played them and tried to do certain challenges. And it made me want to get new cards, but I wasn't going to pay for them. And that's when I stopped playing.
But see, that's how they get you.
They try to get you frustrated, and they convince you, hey, well, if you get this card, well, then you'll be able to beat that team. And then people actually go and they grind and they put all these hours in to get this card, and they might beat that challenge, but the next challenge they'll get screwed, or the one after that. It always catches up to you. And I can connect it to the My Team question that you asked yesterday when you asked, like, what is the point of My Team? It's like, if I have the NBA Finals 91 MJ,
okay,
and then they release another MJ and say, well, what about the finals where he dropped 41 points? When people are going to go and buy that one? It's like it's a crazy money grab. They convince you that you need these cards because, like I said, Stockholm syndrome. You complain all day about it, but at the same time, you keep going back to it, and you even defend it to people outside of that realm.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what Stockholm syndrome is at its core.
Right. I mean, I swear, if it wasn't for you know, Madden Draft Champions, you know, that mode, I love that mode. That mode was to me at the time was really good. Which was
too good for them to give us to us for free, which is why they buried it in MUT.
Well, that's another, you know, I mean, that goes right along with what we're talking about. But you know, if it wasn't for franchise mode not being jacked up, I would have never played it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it. I understand why they do it. I mean, it's a card. It's for nerds who used to collect baseball cards when they were 5, and you know, I mean, I'm not saying they were nerds back then because we all did it.
I'm about to say, because I've collected a whole bunch of baseball cards.
I would say,
trying to say, VF.
Well, I'll say this. I will say this. These are the guys that are still nerds now, trying to collect digital cards. But I mean, that's basically what it. Now I'm gonna try to pull this up on the screen because, like I said, it was the graph that Bills was talking about. I'm gonna try to pull this up on the screen so people could look at it. Let me know if can y'all see that? I don't know. It's probably gonna be based on me talking. If not, I can.
Did you post the YouTube link?
There it is. I see it.
Okay, you see it?
It popped up for a second.
No,
I
didn't
stop
post
talking.
the YouTube link.
But stay up.
I'm looking for it.
No,
there it is.
No, there's the link right there. And if you can look, not the link, but there's a screenshot right there. Now, if you look at this screen, if you look at this, basically what this article is saying, everything in blue is the game is full downloads, and everything in yellow is the mobile, you know, mobile downloads or people who play on mobile or how much money they made off of mobile. Now, they made everything that you see is based off millions. All the numbers that you see, the numbers are in millions. And look at the green. The green is the live services. That's where all the MUT, all the others microtransactions and everything.
Yep.
That's the stuff that is highlighted.
Yep.
I mean, it's not highlighted, but you can clearly see there's more green than yellow and blue. This is the money that they're making off of MUT, microtransactions, basically the live services side of the game. So when people sit here and say, I will give them credit. I will give that group of people credit. You don't hear Save 65 that much anymore, but this would have been very viable to have about 4 years ago. So because everybody was screaming to the top of their lungs, knowing on the back end, you got these EA corporate guys just laughing at us while they're looking at this graph. But this is what you have. This is what we're up against. This is primarily what we're up against. It's like basically if anybody who has any type of sense of business, if your business is making this much money in the green doing what you're doing, why would you cater to a crowd who's only giving you the blue side of your business? If the people that are catering to you are in the green, that are giving you this much money, but the people in the blue want that type of attention, I can see why they don't give us any attention. I can see that. And like I said, the gameplay has gotten better for the most part, but we already know like the modes and everything. I don't see why they don't put in money for the modes. This is where it's at.
Well, let's transition to the Rex Dixon tweet while we're at it.
Right, go ahead.
That was interesting.
So, somebody tweeted Rex Dixon about the game, and they were unsatisfied with the game. And his response was, "Got to be real, I kind of missed the heat. That being said, I'm going to have to decline. I'm not that bored, and you're not that lucky. God, I miss you guys." So then somebody came and said, Alex, I think it was Alex Johnson, come back. He said, "No, it's not a fit. They rejected my, quote, fixed gameplay strategy because it wasn't marketable." So right here, you have it from him. I mean, everybody kind of assumed that that's what it was, but now he confirmed that that's exactly why he left EA. They just had a different way of doing things compared to the way that he thought was best, which was to fix the gameplay. And I just think it's crazy that a lot of people don't go to bat for Rex in retrospect, because looking at the state of the game now, I mean, he's right.
No, I mean, he's absolutely. I think what was it? I think I was talking to DJ before we started. Remember when we got back to start doing the podcast, and at the end of the podcast, we saw that that tweet that Rex was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a quick First and Framerates mini prior to the new episode coming out, basically saying that Rex is leaving, and we kind of knew already. We knew already why he was leaving. I mean, we knew that he was leaving because the gameplay wasn't up to where he wanted to be, and long shot was more of a priority than him making the game better. And when people like Dollar Jr. actually decides to, well, I can say decide, but when he actually realized that, Rex was actually trying his best to make this game better, I can't see why everybody else don't see that at this point. They're still jumping on, him at times, and they're still jumping on EA for, bad gameplay. It's like, there's no reason to jump on them at this point. You know what was up.
And I go back to the question that I asked when Rex left. I said, well, who's going to be next to get tired of it? And it's going to be Clint. It's going to be Clint.
I mean, once again, you look at this chart. That chart has nothing to do with gameplay. That chart can give a damn about gameplay.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
all right, just to interrupt for a second, I'm now seeing that play. That is crazy. That Michael Vick play.
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah,
back foot after he ran back.
Nonsense.
I mean,
so far the icon shouldn't even popped up.
Yeah, like basically, if you look, if anybody goes to my Twitter or whatever, or I'm pretty sure DJ might post it up on his Twitter. I just
retweeted it.
Yeah, if you go back and look, I think Michael Vick was like on the 40 or he was on the 35 or something like that.
You mean like with the line of scrimmage, and when
Yeah.
he dropped back, he was on the goal line almost.
No, I'm just saying where he started at. He started like at the 40 or something. And he ended up scrambling
No,
back.
he was at the 20.
Okay, he was at the 20.
And he dropped back to the
like 2 yard
1 yard line. 1 yard line.
Yeah, 1 yard line, turns around off his back foot,
throwing a frozen rope.
Yeah,
He's falling out of bounds at this point.
Yeah, it's like
mind you, lost no stamina because in that mode there is no stamina.
Right. But like I said,
he's faster than everybody else on the field.
Like I said, I'll do it again. Man. You see that right there?
Because it's funny because when you originally
just look at the green.
When you originally said that,
yeah.
But when you originally mentioned that play, I was thinking, oh, Madden, PS2 Madden, you could do that, like the Michael Vick year.
Yeah, I know.
That's prime time when people are doing that. I was like, wow.
Because
still doing that.
Yeah, like literally 2004, Michael Vick was a cheat code in Madden 04. Literally, he was. But I mean, you look at the stuff like that we're talking about. It all predicates on what you see in the green. You're talking about millions of dollars that are being, from 2017, 18, 19. Look at 2019 third quarter, 2241. That's in millions. So that's what, almost $2.24 billion. Come on, man.
Much.
Come on, man. Why would you make a simulation franchise mode? Why? I mean, let's be honest. Why would you do it? Yeah. I mean, people can talk all they want. They can shit on EA. I get it. It's warranted. Me personally, I think that with them having an exclusive license and running the game into the ground, I'm still upset about that. But at the end of the day, there's other shit I can do. It's two things I can do. And Bills is a master at this. You can actually try your best to fix the game to make it work for you, or you just don't play the shit at all.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? If for you to, and I don't knock anybody's content. If you have a group of people that likes your content and they're happy, you're happy, that's fine. But let's be honest, why are these breakdown videos still being made after looking at that chart? Seriously.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah. Yo, because honestly, I was playing Madden yesterday. I was working on some sliders. My sliders are pretty much done. The game still plays a decent game of football. But, man, the thing that really took the hit was RPM. Because there was a running back that took a handoff coming out of the backfield. And he turned like he was spinning on a top. And it reminded me so much of, like, Madden 12 days. And it was just like after that, there was a good double hit tackle, but I was so close to posting it. I'm just like, for what? There's no point.
Like I said, there's no point in doing it. I mean, that I stopped doing. Look, I officially really, I ain't gonna say officially, but I knew in the back of my mind it was time for me to stop doing breakdown videos when I actually enjoyed Madden 25. I mean, I didn't like 15 because 15 literally had no tackling, but I knew it was time for me to stop doing them at that point because it was like, okay, the game is good enough to play. It's playable. I can have fun with it. And I knew in the back of my mind that stuff like this that we're looking at on this graph was right over our heads. It was coming. I was like, yo, if one person puts up $300 for MUT, that means $300. That means 5 other people have to stop playing the game and stop buying it just to balance it out. That's 5 people. You need 6 people because that person already paid $65 for the game to begin with. So to even it out, you have to have 6 people to say save $65 and don't buy the game just for that one purchase. Now flip that on how many people who else are buying all this MUT stuff for hundreds and thousands of dollars. It's like you got to find your fish. I mean, you got to find the way to swim in your fishbowl and have fun.
I mean, look at NBA Live. What game they have made any gameplay improvements since release, but I'll tell you what, they make sure them garbage ass sneakers are up there in that store.
Right. One thing I would say about NBA Live, they kind of got away from the monetization side of it. I get that, but still, you're right though.
Not in the Ultimate Team because people play that Ultimate Team shit not just as much as Madden, but I mean they play it a lot.
Yeah.
Even to the point where now the mode that everybody wanted to play that is pretty much free to play is broken because they would rather focus on this Ultimate Team shit. Even Live Run now is fucked up.
Yeah, I know. Prime was telling me about that. That Live Run is not the way it was back in 18.
No, it's not. But I mean,
the way I look at it like this, the game still has no in-game injuries. It's not a basketball game.
Yeah, I understand that. I agree. I like playing it, but I know what I'm getting into, so therefore I'm like, okay.
And then on top of that, they pretty much have that. Pretty much is NBA Street,
bro. Even
people have been
NBA,
asking for that game. They gave it to them. That's NBA Street.
Even NBA Playgrounds, too, and they have no leg to stand on. Even they went this route.
Yeah.
Somebody posted a video talking about how long it would take to grind without buying the Michael Jordan on there, just to grind. It was absolutely ridiculous. They've made the price, the in-game price of those players so steep. It is ridiculous. You almost have to buy them in order to even play the game.
That's crazy, bro.
Because I have nothing but garbage ass players in the game right now because I refuse to pay. And I downloaded the game again just to see, okay, did they change the format to this at all? They didn't. And the thing is, you can't start a franchise without having at least 2 players on the same team because that's pretty much the mode that they have now. They don't have the other mode like NBA Street where you could pick 2 people from, different teams and then face other random teams. They don't have that anymore. So now they made it even more difficult to start a franchise because now you need at least 2 players from the same team. Most likely you're going to have 2 garbage-ass players. And then it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Man, you got to think about this. I think that with a lot of games right now, they're going to continue to go by this model.
Of course.
You're going to have some games that still stick out. You're still going to have games that come out like God of War, Horizon, and Spider-Man that, there's going to be some out there that like, look, this is going to be a single player experience. You don't have any loot boxes, no microtransactions, nothing crazy. But I will say in a few years from now, I'll say maybe 65 to 70% of the game is going to have some form of this format.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's just where just the way it is, and it sucks. Like B5 said, the NBA 2K Playgrounds is riddled with pay to play and grind. It is. It's terrible. I mean, I don't know. We have a lot of I ain't gonna say old school gamers, but we're traditional gamers to where like, you put a game in, you learn how to play, you get better, you get rewarded for playing better. Then you get all this stuff they're trying to put behind a paywall because you did your best at this game and you succeeded. Now it's like, okay, I bought the game. Let me open my wallet. Let me get everything I want. And I'm going to play with the best players and still be trash.
Hey, that's what happens when you hear folks say, well, playing against a computer is boring. I don't know how you do that all day.
But I don't get that. I don't understand that. I mean, there's a challenge in playing the CPU in many games, not just sports.
I told them download sliders. I don't want to use sliders. I don't want to play the computer. I want to play a live human being. And then they go and start bitching about how the game is playing. Yeah, but playing the computer is boring. I just gave you sliders. It's like stop. Stop.
It's funny how they get mad because the person who they're playing is either cheesing or the servers are jacked up or the game is just jacked up in general because the servers could be beautiful, but you got to understand you have another entity coming in to regulate the game.
Let me tell you something. If you didn't play 2K19 offline this year, you did yourself a disservice. Period.
Yeah, you really did. I agree. Because with the server itself, you can have the best servers, upload, download speed could be perfect. The problem is you still have that other entity that's regulating the game. It's going to cause wonky situations. I mean, that's just how it is. You're talking about a machine that's trying to make sure both sides are balanced. And with that being said, they're not going to be 100% compared to you just playing the CPU straight up, and it's less likely going to happen. I mean, we see it all the time. Even we play online shooters. We still see wonkiness happen because it's a server. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What you expect? That's like asking like a referee to make sure both sides fight fairly. They're not going to be able to regulate both sides. It's not going to happen. Somebody's going to fuck up. It is. That's how it is. But anyway, speaking of online shooter, I know neither one of y'all played this game, and I don't necessarily want to talk about the gameplay of the game. I just want to talk about how EA just flipped the 180 and released a game that's way left from what they normally do, and it's Apex Legends. Game has gotten a lot of talk. It's a lot of buzz. I've played a lot of the game. I've been playing it on PlayStation 4. I've been playing it on PC. I'm not into battle royale games like that. If I was, I would have got into PUBG. I just never bought the game. I never just got around to play it. But I did play Apex Legends. I was interested in it. It's actually pretty good. But I want to talk about how in the world EA let Respawn put this game out this way and not have any pay to win microtransactions or crazy loot boxes.
They're coming.
Y'all could go and try to explain to me how did that happen?
It's coming.
It's a test. Yeah, they're definitely seeing how many people have jumped on it and how much money. Because basically, they can just calculate the numbers. It was like how many people have been playing ever since they released it, and then multiply that by, like, if I were to just have like level 1 rewards, level 2 rewards, level 3 rewards for price at this, they can do all the calculations and they'll figure out all the money they'll make from all the people that have jumped on there. And then they also sat there and said, well, I just saw this post from a person I follow, I think Lord Attic put out there, is he basically said EA released Apex Legends randomly and early because Anthem was getting destroyed.
I can believe that. I can absolutely believe that. I could believe that.
And yes, B5, I did play the Anthem demo. That's why I'm skipping it. I mean, skipping the game.
No, I haven't touched it.
I wasn't really impressed.
Yeah, I looked at the gameplay. Don't get me wrong, I like the flying around stuff and moving from place to place. When I looked at it and I saw the gameplay, I was like, yeah, I might try it. And then I heard about everything that was happening on the back end. I was like, nah, I'm good.
I'll tell you what I'm unimpressed with. MLB The Show 19.
Oh, no. Wait. We're going to get to that.
That's later. We'll get there.
Yeah, we're going to get to that because I am too. But we're definitely going to get to that.
All right.
But, Bills, what are your thoughts about the release of Apex? I mean, this is really un-EA like.
Man, I see it the same way as Fortnite. They're going to try it out, and if people like it, then they're going to start releasing aesthetics that people will have to pay for, and they'll be making their money hand over fist. I haven't tried the game. I have no intention of trying the game. I just find it funny how everybody complained about Battle Royale games and went and downloaded this. But, you know.
Well, that's true because, I mean, a lot of people complained about – and it went both ways. It was like a lot of people complained about PUBG and the way it was. And don't get me wrong, I think it's a very technical shooter. I like the aspect of it. I just never got around to it. But they turn around and try to play this, and then they complain about teamwork. You know, it's just, I mean, people just go back and forth with the whole situation between Battle Royale and Apex. Like, I don't get it, but I think it's cool. I like it, but I kind of agree with you guys. It's gonna be a matter of time, like sometime maybe fall or around Christmas time. They're gonna try to milk people to make them put some money into the game.
Of course, I mean there was a season pass in Fortnite. It was the same way. They put out NFL uniforms and shit. I mean, people are gonna buy
just recently on there too.
Yeah, it's like they are staying afloat with the free to play game, and they're doing an amazing job at using the people because folks don't realize like you don't need any of that shit to win in that game. But because they see all these people standing around before the game starts and they see them with all these cool backpacks and shit, they're like, oh, I want that. And then they fuck around and they buy the season pass.
I truly believe that the cosmetics in the game are beautiful. I think they've done a great job with cosmetics. That's one thing. I think everything, the way this game is set up, it's free to play or whatever. I think it is great the way it is. But I'm with you guys. I think they're going to probably end up ruin this game before the year's out. I can see that.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm like, just as Bills was saying just a moment ago, I think to add on, it adds on to the fact that we have this natural tendency to impulse buy. So like if you do see those cosmetics,
exactly,
people already have their wallets open, and plus people also taking advantage of the fact that it's just a press of a button anymore. I know open up a wallet is more of a figurative expression now. Because now it's just a press of a button because everybody's credit card numbers are stored.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I played like 10, 15 games. I played like 10, 15 games of Apex, and I know it was free to play. I was so impressed with the gameplay. I did put $20 in to get more coins. I did it. I admit it because I'm like, look, it's free to play. That's how they get you. Yeah, I mean, but see, this is the thing.
We're gonna have to treat you like Liam Neeson.
No, I get what you're saying, but this is the thing. It's not the microtransactions in this is not like what you would expect in the other games as of right now. And to me, it was like, okay, if I want to grind for more cosmetics, I can. But my thing was more like an appreciation for them to putting the game out this way. It wasn't more like, oh, I just need to do this to win. I was actually, the developers of Respawn should be rewarded for putting the game out in this fashion with this quality. So I put $20 to it. I mean, to me, I felt like I ain't gonna say I felt it was justified. Me, I was more like appreciation. I don't have any regrets for it. But you have to understand to the other people who probably put the $100 down, or you probably have some people who put double down on putting $100 down. Like they're doing it to win. I did it to basically show my appreciation to Respawn because first of all, I like Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 was a great game in my opinion. And for me, I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and look. That's one of the reasons why I did look into Apex Legends. And when I started playing, I was like, yo, this is actually pretty good. And I dropped them $20. It was cool. But it's like these guys I will put it like, if more companies did what they did, I think that a lot of people will receive them much better. That's where I like the way they released this game, because they could have easily put out Apex Legends and you could have read an article about it. You could have saw some stupid YouTube video with some gameplay and people would have been turned off by it or whatever the case may be. These guys basically say, we're going to put the game out and let the game speak for itself. And for the most part, as of right now, they've done a pretty good job with it. And I mean, I feel like later on down the road, it's going to be ruined. I'm with you guys, because it's going to be a matter of time where EA going to look at the money and be like, look, we can do this, and this. Christmas holidays coming out. People going to have more money in their pocket. So let's do this, and this. And before you know it, the only people going to be playing the games are the ones that are opening their wallets and doing all kind of crazy stuff in the game.
That's the one thing I can respect about the creators of Fortnite. If you suck at that game, you cannot buy your way out of that.
Yeah. And so far, Apex is doing the same thing. You have to be pretty good at that game. You have to.
Yeah.
So the only thing, my main thing with the game, and be honest, if they don't change it, I'll probably stop playing it myself. They don't have enough ammo in that game at all. I mean, you find ammo is like, even if you feel like you got a lot, it's just not enough. And then guys take maybe like a clip and a half to kill them. It's really bad on that end. But I like the mechanics. I like the concept. I like the structure of the game. And to be quite honest, a lot of other companies could take notes on how this was done. Even if it's not a free-to-play game, they still could look at the quality of the game, and you won't have problems in a game like you have with Anthem. Just like DJ said, Anthem has probably been put on the back burner because, Apex, you kind of, I'll put it like this, Apex was put out because of the problems with Anthem.
Oh, wow. DJ, breaking news. So, apparently, it says the Washington Wizards are sending Otto Porter to the Chicago Bulls.
What?
This actually affects both of y'all.
Oh my god!
Otto Porter is sending. They're sending Otto Porter to the Bulls for Bobby Portis and Jabari Parker.
Oh yes! Yes! Oh my god! Yes!
Now this is my thing. Now before y'all react, because I know this is y'all see, I'm just gonna give my 2 cents on this. The Bulls went out. The Bulls went out for sure.
Boy.
I knew Bobby Portis had to go eventually because they're kind of overstocked at that position. That's a win for the Bulls, man.
Oh, absolutely, boy.
So DJ, thoughts?
The trash Parker.
Because we're gonna slide right into this trade deadline.
Yeah, we can jump on that real quick.
So DJ, just initial thoughts on this.
I think. Let me see, because I know Ted Leonsis had already said that he was not going to trade any of the three.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he had to change his mind the moment John Wall re-injured himself at home.
Hmm.
That was the reality check for Ted, and I'm gonna have to commend Ted for making. I don't know if he had an influence in telling the GM to make this move, but the move had to be made because at this point, that team. First of all, I know we're gonna eventually jettison Markieff Morris, so adding Jabari Parker actually be and Porter should actually is good for us. I think it's a win for both teams. It's just unfortunate.
Portis I definitely like.
No, Portis is going to be good for y'all. I will say that definitely.
Portis I agree 100%.
And it's funny because in my league in 2K15, I drafted Portis. So it's just funny how this is working out. But I think Jabari Parker may be a surprise, but he also may ask for a buyout.
Which
possibility. But it's going to save us. It's going to save the Wizards money as far as getting rid, because that's a lot of money going. Because I know Parker signed for a lot of money for the Bulls, but Porter signed for even more money. So if the Bulls have room, then I guess it works well for both teams.
I'll tell you, that's
upset.
A good trade for the Bulls only because they needed a 3 desperately.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got rid of Justin Holiday. Zach LaVine can now go back to the 2. They're going to play some pretty good basketball here on out now.
Man, I hope so.
But the only thing with the Bulls, now they're going to have to draw up plays for Otto because he can't do it. He can't create his own shot.
Yeah, but Holiday, the same way they played with Holiday was similar, and the way they used Holiday was actually really good.
Yeah, they did a good job with Holiday. That's why I was surprised that they let him go.
Yeah, me too. So,
but you know what else? But you know what's sad about this?
What?
And I had to turn my attention to the Wizards fans because they've been calling for Otto Porter to be traded for years.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, this, again, I had to repeat myself with DC fans, but you have a fan base that's so in the dumps about anything, even though we just came NHL wise, we just came off a championship season. So in the dumps about its individual players and just turning on them left and right if they're not like an ultimate scoring machine.
Right.
Like, I think this city is going to miss Otto Porter, even though they won't admit it. Because I know on Twitter, these dick suckers are going to be like, oh, I'm glad he's gone.
Man, let me tell you something. I didn't watch much of Otto Porter prior to you telling me a little bit about him. I remember he was from, where was he from? Georgetown?
Yeah, he's from Georgetown.
So I watched him. Yeah, I watched him at Georgetown, and I liked him. And then I kind of lost track of him in the NBA. But when they played the Celtics, he played well in that series. At least the parts that I saw.
And it was funny because I know in that series he played well, and Oubre played well. Yep. Now they're both gone.
Both gone.
So the
young and up and coming teams too, by the way.
And the thing is, the person entirely to blame for why the Wizards are in this predicament and why stuff because Kelly is scoring in Phoenix. Otto Porter is going to flourish in Chicago. I already know this. I'm like, the dude's he was a top 3 draft pick in the NBA when he came out.
Yeah, he was like number 3 overall, right?
Yeah, he was number 3.
He was high.
So basically, because between Porter, Wall, and Beal, I think Beal was the higher draft pick because Wall was, I think it was number 5 or something, maybe a little bit lower. But I'm like, draft order, it was Wall his year, Porter number 3 of his year, and Beal was probably like 5th or 6th. So it's just like, okay, we got rid of one of our big 3. So, but now it's just Beal there. So that just tells me we're building this team around Beal, which to me,
that's not a bad idea, honestly.
Because he's your scorer.
Yeah.
He's your pure scorer. So this sets it up to be like I'm not going to say, well, I shouldn't say. No, I'm going to say it. It sets it up to be the team to be built in a Michael Jordan type situation where the shooting guard is your primary scorer and you build the team around him to where you have your defenders, you have your rebounders, you have your all-around guys, even in this format of basketball, the way it's being played, Bill can hit the three, which was different than what Jordan could do, and Bill can score inside. So it's just like I'll be interested to see how this works out afterwards, especially with Porter.
I'm gonna tell you what's about to happen though. What's about to happen is the KD Russell Westbrook situation all over again. Because when Wall comes back, there's going to be a different alpha dog around.
Well, that is true. That's true.
Matter of fact, in 2K, they both are alphas. If you check their archetypes, they both have the traits of alpha.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I haven't seen it in my season.
Yeah, I mean, John Wall's been the guy on that franchise pretty much since he's gotten there. And now Bradley Beal, who was already kind of nicking at his heels, is going to be the guy. So that's going to be an interesting situation. What do you think about the trade, VF?
Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to get rid of him off my damn 2K, and I haven't got him off that yet.
Damn.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him off my team on 2K. Seriously.
No, yeah, VF hasn't been on that Jabari Parker wave not one bit.
No, not. The first few games when I saw him play, I was done. Hold on. What's up? What are you guys watching? We're going to get into the AAF real shortly. Just hold tight. We're going to get into that. But as far as Bobby Portis is leaving, that's going to suck because I like him. But I know we already got a few other players who can play that position, like Markkanen, and we have a couple of other guys who can play his position. So I'm not really.
Yo, VF, you should screenshot your post.
What post?
I just saw it.
What, did you trash?
By Jatrash Parker.
Yep, that's his name.
I'm about to say. I thought it said I'm a _Joe Ho.
No, that's one of my followers.
You know what's sad is that Jatrash sounds like an actual name for like a Southern basketball player. Jatrash Parker.
Yeah, that's him. He can go.
Oh man, that's
it's funny.
No, I don't have much else to say. I don't have much to say about. I like the.
Okay,
like
first post coming from a Wizards fan. Who Wizards fans gonna bitch about now? That's a good question. That came from Mr. DC Sports.
I'll tell you.
Senior. His username comes up as step back one-legged shot. That's the reference to when Patrick Ewing got on one of his players.
I got something to bitch about. So today the Heat traded Tyler Johnson, and I don't know if people have paid attention, but I've been very high on Tyler Johnson.
That's the point guard, right?
Yeah, point guard, shooting guard.
Yeah, I saw that. He's going to the Suns.
So they traded him to the Suns for Ryan Anderson. Now, okay.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Now, y'all both can confirm that I said a long time ago not to extend Hassan Whiteside. You do remember this, right?
I remember you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now Miami's trying to position themselves for free agency in a couple of years, and they're dumping contracts like Tyler Johnson's contract. Why? Because they can't trade Hassan Whiteside. It's crazy, bro. Okay, Tyler Johnson was gonna go to the Bucks in free agency before he signed this huge contract that they're now trying to get rid of because he is owed $20 million over the next 2 years, $20 million each year. So they backloaded it. Now they're trying to get out of it, but they're trying to get out of the wrong contract. Now you got rid of Wayne Ellington. Okay, fine. I wasn't high on Wayne Ellington. But Ryan Anderson, really? I mean, his contract expires at the end of this year, but come on, bro. You don't get rid of Tyler Johnson has improved every year he's been here.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty good ball.
He can play point guard when injury-prone ass Goran Dragic gets injured to the point where we're so desperate now. We have Justice Winslow at point guard. He's been playing really well. But Jesus Christ, man. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know where we're going with this franchise. And I know people like, well, you know, it hasn't been fashionable to be a Miami Heat fan since Bronco. Look, I don't leave my teams. I got close today, but I don't abandon my teams. They're in a bad situation right now. Ryan fucking Anderson, man. Just come on.
Yeah, I can agree. That kind of sucks. What do you think about the Sixers and the Clippers trade?
Now, I see a lot of people jumping off a bridge about this in Philly. Oh my God, yeah, we're all of a sudden going to be the number one. No. No.
Let me tell you something. Tobias Harris he's pretty good, but he ain't that damn good.
Tobias Harris is really good, and he will not be the reason that they don't get the number 1 seed, and he will not be the reason why they don't escape the East. The reason they won't escape the East is because of Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler is disgruntled. He is tired of playing second or maybe third fiddle some nights to Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. And he swears he's this number 1 guy.
But you know what? He'll play much better if he didn't feel like that.
But he never will stop feeling like that. He has the AI. He has the AI mindset. He has the Carmelo Anthony mindset. And he's not that guy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But he swears he is.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. You can call me, ignorant. I haven't really watched Tobias Harris' game. I knew he was okay in Orlando, but I haven't watched him. So I didn't think this was a good move, but he's going to help with floor
spacing. He's been shooting well from the 3. And Wilson Chandler, this is definitely an upgrade over Wilson Chandler. So I like the trade. Then again, I don't think you should have got rid of Saric in the first place. If you didn't have to part ways with Saric to get Butler, I would have kept Saric, honestly. I don't think Butler makes them as much better as people swear he does. I don't think Butler makes them better at all, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of wondering why he went there to begin with. I mean, why they traded to get him there to begin with.
They just wanted to get him out of that toxic situation, and they kind of won out in that trade because now Derrick Rose is playing at an all-star level. I mean, Minnesota is basically trying to recoup what they lost with that Zach LaVine trade originally, and they can't really recover.
They really came out as the losers in that trade to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a dumb trade to begin with. They could have had Lauri Markkanen. They could have had Chris Dunn. They were going to have a pretty good young team, and they just kind of went for Thibodeau loves his players that he used to coach. That's why Luau Deng still has work in this league. It's just one of those things.
All right, one more thing before we finish with the NBA talk. The Celtics are talking about throwing everything at the kitchen sink, everything but the kitchen sink, or probably along with the kitchen sink to the Pelicans.
Dummies.
They're trying to do everything they can to get AD to the Celtics. I think it's a very dumb move. I think Tatum. It seems like Tatum is. I can't see Tatum in another jersey, and it's just very early of his career. But it just seems like Tatum is fit for Boston in general. That's how I take it. And they're talking about possibly getting rid of him and Kyrie and all this just for AD. I don't. What are your thoughts about that?
I'll let DJ speak on it first because this is pretty heavy to me. But I'll let DJ go first.
Yeah, I probably don't have much to say about it other than the fact that why would Boston be messing with their chemistry again?
Right.
That's the main thing. It seems like in building their team, I felt like chemistry was going to be an issue each time they made an addition. Like when they first brought on Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, I was like, I think chemistry is going to be an issue until like mid-season whatnot. Now you're thinking about jettisoning and putting everything on the table for just one guy. And I'm like, what does that mean? It just means that you're setting yourself up. Yeah, you may get a superstar player, but you already have one superstar player, one star player. You don't necessarily have to mess with the team that you have. You're sitting up. I think you're sitting there as one of the contenders in the East, along with Philly. Your only in the Raptors too. I keep on forgetting about them, but still, you're one of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. I'm like, if they pull it off, I think they'll pay for it in the end.
I think it's a stupid move. What about you, Bills?
Man, here's my thing. The Bulls. The Celtics have built this team off of the draft, and they signed Gordon Hayward, which was a big-time signing. Unfortunately, got hurt, but he's starting to get back into the swing of things. Why would you break up a team that you have drafted and worked so hard to craft after dumping all these players and dumping all these contracts to get this team to this point? Why would you then go and throw your franchise player the next 10 years away just to get Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis is injury-prone, and I like Anthony Davis. But I'm not about to throw everything over to New Orleans, especially after they flubbed this Lakers trade. They definitely don't deserve it.
I really like Jason Tatum, and I don't see them getting. I don't see why would they get rid of him.
The Celtics would bail them out. They would bail the Pelicans out of this situation if they just hand Jason Tatum to them.
Yo, I had to interrupt. I had to interrupt. I just saw a video of Otto Porter warming up for the Wizards. This is horrible. They probably haven't told this man.
He probably has no idea.
He has no idea. When you told me about the trade, and I had to get the remote because the game's about to come on. They're 5 minutes away from starting, and the game's on national TV. It's going to be on ESPN.
Are they at home?
I don't think they told them.
Are they at home?
No, they're in Milwaukee.
He's going to get a "You got traded" chant. I guarantee you.
Yo,
man, that's crazy.
He's gonna get a "You got traded" chant. He's gonna be like, "What?" And
I swear, the level of communication with this that's going on is Daniel Snyder, Washington Redskin level type of lack of communication. This is gonna be crazy.
But yeah, I don't like it. Jason Tatum is a franchise player. Anthony Davis is a great player. He's a generational player, but he is also a very injury-prone player. And if you get him in the offseason, I guarantee you they're going – even Tatum would be enough. I wouldn't even trade Tatum for Anthony Davis straight up in this situation with this team. But you trade Tatum and then possibly some other key guys? Hell no. No. Don't bail them out of this situation. The Pelicans got themselves into the situation by not taking that trade from the Lakers when the Lakers threw everybody and the kitchen sink at them. And they still said, no, we don't want it because they're so bitter about how the LA Lakers are trying to get him. Man, nobody needs to bail the Pelicans out of this situation. Let them
marinate in it. Fife is asking me, why do I think Tatum is a fit for? I don't think Tatum himself is necessarily a fit for Boston. I just think that if you surround him, if you make him the focal point in Boston, I think they'll be just as successful if you have an Anthony Davis there. That's just
he definitely fits. I mean, he's a matchup problem for any forward that has to guard him because they put him at the 4 sometimes. He's a matchup problem for them. He's a matchup problem for the threes. I haven't seen anybody that could check him. He's definitely a fit there. He's Paul Pierce too.
Yeah, that's saying. I think if you build a team around him, I think you'll be able to have just as amount of success with any other superstar. I mean, he's young. He's proven himself within the years that he's been in the league, especially in the playoffs. He played very well in the playoffs. So it's like it's not like we're just giving up some prodigy guy. This guy is damn near on the cusp of proving himself that he's one of the elite players. Why would you get rid of that for somebody just like Bill said? He's injury prone. As of right now, since this whole trade,
he just got injured. It was like, dude.
And based on everything that's been going on with this trade situation, he can come off as a diva a little bit.
Oh, he's not gonna want to resign there. His daddy already.
On top of that, this man's dad is coming out saying that he don't want to play for Boston. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
They're talking about trading Kyrie. The Celtics aren't, but the fans are like, "Oh, why don't you just trade Kyrie?"
Yeah, I mean, even if Anthony Davis don't feel the same way his dad feel, the fact that his dad put that out there it's just bad. It's just bad PR anyway. You don't want that around your team.
No.
So it's like, why would you do that?
No, and it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly if he makes it. If Anthony Davis is a member of the Pelicans going into next season, it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, I agree.
They really needed to trade him this deadline. LA gave them the best offer, which is clear as day. That's why they came with a counter offer that was a petty counter offer. It was a counter offer that was like, we know LA is not going to accept this. But here you go.
They tried to finesse, bro.
They tried to finesse the hell. They were going to finesse.
Did you see that GIF I put out? You see that GIF I put out for them? The GIF I put out is saying that was the Pelicans front office.
Yeah, I saw it. Bro, they tried to finesse them like crazy, and they would have finessed them with the second deal, the second offer that LA put out, because that was a damn good offer. You get Ingram, Zubac, Josh Hart, Kuzma, and 2 first-round picks, and they're taking the Solomon Hill contract off your hands. Man, the Pelicans deserve to rot, and they don't deserve to have a franchise, honestly.
You know what? I'm gonna say this right now. These motherfuckers is fucking. Fuck them. That's all I'm gonna say.
Damn.
Goddamn, no, it was just Somebody on Twitter just pissed me the hell off just then.
Oh god.
I'm just gonna say this. Listen. I don't have a problem with asking people for follow. If you're trying to grow your brand, you're trying to do something positive for your situation, you're trying to do something to make better content. I have no problem supporting it, but you know that this is a podcast over here. We're trying to do the same thing. Don't ask us to follow you, and then a week later you unfollow us like you don't know what the fuck going on.
Yeah, who we're talking about here?
It's your people out of your neck of the woods. I'm not gonna say the name. I'll just let you. I'm not doing like that because I'm better than that. I still hope that they do the best they can in growing their podcast. But that's bullshit that they did.
I'm confused. What's going on?
There you go. You can look at them right there. Fuck them. They sit there and ask for Twitter.
What am I looking at?
Go look in the group chat, goddamn. They're gonna ask for a follow, and we want to help you.
Is heated right now.
Oh man, fuck man. Nah, that's some bullshit.
Hold on, you didn't post anything.
Look in the group chat, goddamn.
Hang on.
Nah, they're gonna sit there and ask for a follow and this, that, and the third for their podcast, and they're gonna do the same for us, and then you bitch ass niggas gonna fuck around. Unfollow us and try to do it stealth too. If you don't like our content, if you don't like what I put on Twitter, that's fine. I get it. But just to do it low key on the back end and still smile in my face and like my post, man, fuck you, man. That's bullshit.
Man,
got time for that shit. Hope they shit. You know what?
What is this? But still, this had nothing to do with me.
No, it has nothing to do with you. I'm just saying they're from your neck of the woods.
Still, it has nothing to do with me. I'm in Columbia. That's in DC.
They still like the teams you like.
Yo, breaking news though. Hold on. So Pooh, he put up Amon Shumpert to the Rockets. I'm looking at this trade now. Alec Burks got traded again.
Oh my god, that man has been on down there every NBA team.
Man, Alec Burks better not buy a house anywhere he get traded to. I'm gonna fucking need to stay in a cardboard box as long
as
man.
Right.
So he got traded to Sacramento with the second round pick in exchange for Amon Shumpert, who is a part of a 3-team deal that includes Houston. So I'm guessing that Amon Shumpert is going to be in Houston. This is crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
Alec Burks is a really good young player. I don't know why they're shopping this dude around like this.
Hey, where's that link? I want to see that.
I just have, hold on. I'll screenshot it and send it to you.
I still can't believe these dudes did that shit,
though. Here's a trade. Cleveland will send Alec Burks to the Kings. Rockets send Brandon Knight, Marquise Chris, and a protected first rounder to the Cavaliers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I see Otto now. I think they finally told him because I don't see him out there anymore.
That's whack. That's mad whack.
Yeah, that is whack. I'm like, he doesn't even have social media, so the only thing is he's protected from not having to see the tweets, people adding him and whatnot. So
let me tell you,
Otto Porter did not have a social media.
I'm gonna tell you what else is whack. Toronto shopping Kyle Lowry. That's whack.
Yeah, that is.
And look, I'm not a Kyle Lowry fan, but I really hate when fans go and start going off on a tangent about loyalty this and loyalty that. Nobody has been more loyal to the Toronto franchise than Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. One is already gone, and one will be gone tomorrow, according to everything I'm reading. I mean, it's absolutely despicable, bro.
And I think on the side of him being loyal, I agree, but I ain't gonna say he didn't produce because he's still a pretty good PG. He's not bad.
He is. He's a good point guard, and he's playing even better with Kawhi. It's like I don't get it. And Mike Conley, we didn't even touch on that, but I guess we can go on a little bit later. Mike Conley and Marc Gasol, they're also shopping them.
That's interesting. But Mike Conley got a hell of a contract though.
He has a crazy contract, and if the Jazz take on that contract, it seems like they're trying to trade him. He said he doesn't want to go to Jazz.
You know, him and old boy might be pretty good together though.
Donovan.
Yeah, him and Donovan might be pretty good together if you think. Well, B5 asked, do you guys think Tatum will be the same player if he was drafted elsewhere?
He'd be the same player anywhere.
I think he'll be the same player.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'd be the same player.
I just think that where he is now, I think it's basically a place where he can build himself and a brand and actually be another one of the Celtic greats. But I mean, the way they're setting this up now, I just hope it don't happen because
while he did have Brad Stevens, remember, I mean, he played out a whole playoff stretch without Kyrie, and he dominated.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't so much the players around him. That's why I can look at him and say he definitely be the same.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Now, if he didn't do that, then I'd be like, all right, they're getting rid of him. I can see it. But no, this dude actually came in and did, and what, this was like, what, his first or second year when he
First
did
year.
that?
First
I
year.
was like, yeah, I'm like, yo, he proved himself to be that he could easily be one of the greats if given the opportunity. If he goes to New Orleans, I mean, I think he'll be okay, but it just won't be the same.
Hold on, right before we leave this topic. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you got to think about New Orleans. It's an area that doesn't really thrive off basketball like that. They just don't.
Shoot, they don't even thrive off winning.
Well, that's a different story for another day. That we're not touching that. I'm done with talking about that.
No,
what about to say, Bill?
So I just wanted us to touch on this topic really quick. So Shaq was talking last week about the greatest of all time conversation, and he spoke on how people never include big men. I just want you guys' thoughts on that. Do you think that big men should be integrated more into the conversation of greatest of all time? Or do you think that they should be separate, greatest big men of all time, greatest, little men, or how do you think it should be?
I think with that, Shaq is not wrong, but he has to understand that you're talking about a situation in the NBA now where the big men in general just don't be talked about at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like if, let's say, back in the 90s or the late 90s or even the early 2000s, that conversation of greatest of all time would easily be in that discussion because the NBA, every position mattered as far as who did what. So you would talk about a Wilt or a Russell or a Shaq, or hell, nobody talks about what's the boy that played in Portland?
Arvydas Sabonis.
Yeah, nobody talks about him no more. But if you had this conversation back in the early 2000s, easily he'd have been talked about. It's not. I don't think it's the fact that nobody talks about it anymore because of they're just irrelevant. I just think that nobody talks about it now because the NBA has changed where the big man don't even get any type of talk. It's just how it is. But on the back end of your question, I think it causes a good discussion if you have separate greatest of all times at each position. I mean, I'm here for both sides. So
DJ,
I would want to include the big men in the greatest of all time conversation. It'd be kind of contradictory and hypocritical. I know they both mean the same thing, but to lead them out would because I would like to talk about Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Shaq. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a name, and I just seen the post where it's just like I won 6 rings. What? Nobody gonna talk about me?
6 rings, 6 MVPs.
That's what I'm saying. And 3 college titles. It was just like, shoot, I won my whole entire time. I'm like, you ain't gonna mention my name? Okay.
Who you talking about again? I was looking at something on Twitter.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy. See, that's what I'm saying. And as late as early 2000. They'll be in the conversation easily because you got to think about it. Early 2000, you still had people like David Robinson. You still had Patrick Ewing in the league. You even had Sean Kemp to some extent. You still had big men that was around, like we talk about Sabonis. But if you look at the league now, I mean, you got Hassan Whiteside and AD and. I mean, you kind of see what I'm saying? It's like you don't have like the presence like you had back then. I mean, you look at the Pacers back in the late 90s. I mean, you had the Davis dudes. I mean, you had big men that was on the court at all times, but they just don't. The league is kind of conformed to be a little different. I think that's why nobody talks about them.
I think because of how the game has changed and turned into a perimeter-centric league as a whole, I think that we've gotten even further away from the big man conversation. But to be honest, asking a lot of old heads, they seem to say that Kareem never was really in the conversation after Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and MJ came around because people just became enchanted by the perimeter player. I disagree that you can't compare them because folks always say, oh, you can't compare them. You can compare them. You compare their credentials. You compare their accolades. You compare how they impacted the game when they were on the court. And that's what makes the greatest of all time player. You don't have to play the same position. I'm all for separating them if you really have to get down to that and separate big men and perimeter players, but I don't think you have to do that. I think you can make a legitimate case without separating them that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest basketball player of all time. I don't think you need to separate and say he's the greatest big man of all time. I just don't. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
And then also there was another topic where folks were talking about, well, I think best of all time and greatest of all time are the same. That's the one thing I disagree with. I think best of all time and greatest of all time are different, but that's just me personally. I can see somebody being the best of all time at something and not being the greatest of all time at something, because greatest has to do with accolades, and to me, best has to do with skill. So I think when you say somebody's the best at all time or something compared to the greatest of all time, I kind of disagree that they're the same. But
And I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were to separate, greatest of all time, big man,
mm-hmm.
and you look at LeBron James,
right?
In this era, he's a small forward.
Yep.
But in the old NBA, he would be a power forward / center.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's where you can't separate them, because you have a player right now who can be considered greatest of all time, even over MJ. I'll say it, even though I still believe MJ is greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a guy that fits both modes. So it's just like you gotta keep them together.
You look at like Giannis, or you look at other
Giannis?
players like Giannis. I don't know. You look at Joel Embiid. You look at guys like that. I mean, they're big men, but then again, they're playing other positions. So, it kind of goes both ways. Like, you can do it, but when you look at it, it's like, I mean, you can separate them, but when you look at it, it's like, all right, we're gonna say Joel could be one of the guys that be greatest of all time down the road, but he played, shooting guard at one point. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be kind of weird. So
yeah.
But
I mean, hell, Larry Bird was drafted as a power forward,
right? Yeah.
And then Kevin McHale was drafted, so that went right out the window. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you even got where at times Magic played center.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what are we talking about? So it's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. I think it makes a better conversation when you do try to separate them, but like I said, I'm here for both sides. So it's like you can say best all around, player, or you can say traditional center or traditional point guard. I mean, I get it. I mean, if you want to confine the for sake of conversation, but I mean, realistically, it's like it just has to be everybody on the same plane of who's the greatest.
Hold on, now, because B5 brought this up real quick, because I know we only got AAF left.
Right.
So he said, "What about Kareem, Shaq, and Bill Russell?" This is what I would ask y'all. I want y'all to rank them in order, if you can.
Kareem, Shaq, Bill Russell. For me, it's Kareem, Shaq, then Bill Russell, just in that line. I don't necessarily. It's hard for me to put Bill Russell up with the rest of them, because at the time he was winning, it was like, look at the competition. Mm-hmm. Kareem has done it for a long period of time, and he's more talented. He's a little more skilled, and Shaq just, Shaq is just Shaq. So that's my 1, 2, and 3.
I would say, Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh yeah, because he's not.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
So yeah, Wilt too. So hold on, real quick then. VF. So where would you put Wilt in that?
Man, this is gonna be like with 2A and 2B with Shaq and Wilt.
Wait a minute, hold up. I wasn't even finished. I
was asking him because Wilt wasn't included in the original, but you brought up Wilt, so I figured I would throw him in, because that's pretty much the list of greatest of all time.
Yeah, that's almost like 2A and 2B with them two. I mean, Kareem is Kareem, but Wilt and Shaq is like, you know what I mean?
So you would go Kareem,
and it's almost like a toss up with Wilt and Shaq, and then Bill Russell.
Okay.
It's hard for me to put one of them 2 and the other one 3, to be honest.
Okay, DJ.
I would have to say Shaq is my number 3.
Okay. Hey man, y'all made me want to play NBA Street Volume 2 now. Shit.
I know, right? Man, between Kareem and Wilt is tough. And then you have Shaq's reign of terror, which was crazy too. But I gotta go Kareem, Wilt, Shaq. and then Russell is a distant fourth. If we're talking about basketball players at that position,
Right.
now, obviously he's the greatest winner of all time. But as far as basketball skills, I can't put Bill Russell up there. He was an exceptional passer, and he was obviously a great defensive player. But I mean, these dudes,
and he has a good basketball mind too.
Yeah,
he has a great basketball mind. I get it.
Right.
Yeah, and see, that's how I look at when I look at everything when we talk about in all aspects of the greatest of all time. I don't necessarily look at wins and losses. I'll be looking at their skill on the court or on the basketball, or on the football field or the baseball diamond. I look at the craft of how well they played the game. I mean, we can easily sit there and say, Jordan's the GOAT because he has 6 rings, but Robert Horry got more. So what are we talking about?
And I don't think that every win and loss is created equal either. So I think there has to be a bit of discretion used based on, look at Wilt. Wilt went up against the Celtics how many times? The Celtics had about 9 Hall of Famers on that team.
Right.
Wilt's finals record isn't very good. Now, granted, you could say, well, they shouldn't have lost to the Knicks in 72 or whatever year.
73.
Yeah, 73, which is fine. You could say that. But at the same time, like I said, I don't think that every win and every loss is built the same. I don't think they're created equal.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I think Shaq has such an opportunity to be far and away the greatest center of all time.
I can agree with that. I definitely can agree. I mean, once he went with the Lakers, he took off, and it's like they really could have had that for a long time.
Okay, see. Now you're bringing up Karl Malone.
No, we're not doing that. Nope. Now it's time to talk about something else. We're not talking about that. Nope.
Karl Malone.
We ain't doing it.
Come on, you gotta think about the name of the person that brought Karl Malone's name into it. Yeah, let's move on.
Nope, we're not doing it. Nope.
Castrate that.
We're not about to talk about Bill's favorite player. We're not going to do that.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, man.
The AAF, the season starts February 9th. The schedule is out. I'm going to put it on the screen so we can look at it and we can talk about some of these matchups that are out there. I can't necessarily. Let me see. All right,
I have it up on mine.
We got on yours so everybody else can see. I don't have the rosters. I had them, but I lost the link. I don't know where it is.
I think on the surface, I don't think we need to really go into like, okay, head-to-head matchups. Okay, who's, try to break it down. Let's just go into this weekend with really no expectations of what to expect, but a continuation of football. I think that's what a lot of people have been begging for.
Okay.
And they're about to get it this weekend.
Okay. Yeah. I agree.
I'm excited.
I'm actually excited too. I mean, listen, I got the Atlanta and Orlando game. There's a few guys that went to Georgia Southern. I think like 2 or 3 of them that went to Georgia Southern actually playing on that team. So I'm actually going to watch that. That one of the kickers and one of the receivers that actually played at Georgia Southern the year that they won the GoDaddy.com Bowl. The very first year they went to the Division I.
Wait, is that Atlanta team the team with all the Alabama fans that couldn't, all the Alabama players that couldn't hack it in the NFL?
No, I think that's the Birmingham team.
That's the Birmingham team.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Birmingham team. Gotcha. No, Atlanta has Aaron Murray and those guys. But
man, look at the channels that they're getting this on, though.
Yeah, they're getting it on CBS and NFL Network.
TNT. That's why I was looking at like, damn.
Yeah, one's on TNT. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. That's going to be interesting. I would love to see how.
And then Bleacher Report live, so they're gonna because they said they are gonna stream. Well, the CBSSN is the streaming service, but the first 2 games are gonna be live on CBS. Now the thing is, they're both at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so we're only going to
Saturday.
That's going to be region based. I think they're just doing the one that night, I would imagine.
Yeah, okay, I think those are regional. You got to think about it. San Diego is going to be 7. It's going to be 7. No,
I think all of us
they're at San Antonio.
Yeah,
and so it's going to be 7 o'clock their time. And
so all of us.
I'm going to get the Atlanta-Orlando game. I mean, Atlanta-Orlando game. It seems like that's.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it is a region type game or they're just going to be nationalized. I hope they're nationalized.
I think it has to be regional that night because I think we're all going to get that Atlanta-Orlando game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Over here.
I wonder if all the games like that are on CBS or TNT and NFL Network, that doesn't matter. But I'm just wondering if those games they're going to be national, like the CBS. And
Oh, he traveled.
Well, no, because on CBS Sports Network, I think that's a regional channel, so everybody will get that.
Okay.
And TNT, same thing. Yeah, I think all those will be national.
Yeah, I'm actually excited because I mean, at the Super Bowl when Hines Ward and Pooh the one that showed me this, they had a clip of them talking about what they're about and what they're trying to do with this league. It is a perfect structure how they got it, because basically what they're doing is they have where guys who haven't, who got cut, or guys who just didn't get drafted or what, they have a chance to show off their talents for 10 weeks, and they get to play against other guys that are like-minded or like the same type of talent. And by the time that the league is the season's over, it lines right up right before the draft. So if they done very well in this league, they could possibly get redrafted, or they'll get picked up in the off season during free agency. So we thought when it first started, we thought they were trying to compete with the NFL, but no. But the way it looks like, they're actually basically making an NFL D league.
Yeah, they're working in conjunction with the NFL.
Right, they're working with the NFL. So I think this is actually perfect for the structure.
Isn't that what I said when we first talked about this?
Yeah, you did.
I think
I kind of figured that was going to happen.
I just kind of hate that, though, man. I swear some days I wish the league would just come and fucking compete with them, yo. Because the NFL pisses me off sometimes. And I like that they're working in conjunction with the NFL, but honestly, I would much rather see this league branch out and try to take
their own thing.
Man.
Yeah, it would be nice to see them branch out and do their own thing. I wouldn't.
But I'm just glad we're getting this league in general.
Yeah, I really want to see. I want to see young Koo and I think I forgot the other guy name. I know Koo is he's the kicker and the receiver. I want to see those guys actually shine. I'm actually kind of excited. I really am.
Yeah.
Anything else y'all want to add to AAF? I mean, I don't have anything else.
No, I just got this other trade that came in. Pooh sent. Cleveland will be sending Nick Stauskas and Wade Baldwin to the Rockets in a 3-way deal.
Okay.
Nick Stauskas gets traded twice in a matter of days.
Oh,
he's another one that don't need to buy a home, right?
I got a quick question. When we first talked about the AAF, did they finalize like the helmets and the uniforms and stuff like that? I don't remember.
At the time when we first talked about it, no, but I think they have them now, because I think
I'm looking at them now, and I'm looking at the helmets. I'm like, not bad.
Yeah, some of them are actually pretty neat. Yeah, I agree.
I want to see what these uniforms look like. I'm gonna just check them out right now.
Okay.
Did you see this article that said KD believed he'd be viewed as the world best player after beating LeBron in the 2017 finals? This is funny to me.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he needs to go somewhere.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool to have confidence in yourself, but let's be real.
This is exactly like, okay, that has to be some serious delusion.
Oh, wow.
That has to be some serious delusion on the part of KD, because he knew everybody's reaction to him joining Golden State. Did you really think people were going to view you as the world's best player just because y'all beat the Cavaliers in that series?
Hey, man.
The perception of him was already pretty low.
Hey.
No, B5. There's not going to be any KD hate in this. I love KD as a basketball player.
No, it's not hating on him. It's just that you got to understand your role is not there. You're not there yet.
Yeah, it's not hate. It's just, how could you think that you would be perceived as that? That's almost like saying.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Hey, did not Robinson play for the Atlanta Legends?
Yeah, I told you
that.
Yeah, but no, it's not KD hate. I love KD. KD in 2014 was the best player in basketball, but this ain't 2014. That's my point. It's like, you went to a team that was better than the Cleveland Cavaliers, and y'all beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. But just because you played well in that series doesn't mean that you're going to be looked at as the best player in the world. That's not how it works.
Right.
So come on.
Yo, I can't front them, DJ. Hey, man, some of these jerseys are actually nice.
Yeah, I need to, because I was looking at.
I'm looking at Memphis. I like the Memphis jerseys right here. I like those.
Man, I need to check out the Stallions.
Ranking the 8 uniforms unveiled for the 2019 league.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where's that link?
is
Because
it-
I'm just going to their Twitter pages.
Do y'all want to maybe screen share this?
Yeah, if you send it,
Everybody
yeah,
else can see
I
it.
want to see this.
All right, hold on. Let me-
Yeah, but I like these Memphis jerseys. These things are nice, like straight up. Yeah, you send me the link. I'll put it up so everybody can see them.
The
right.
Apollo's helmet looks pretty good. I know they got the.
I like the Atlanta
Apollo.
one. The Atlanta ones look pretty nice too. The purple and gold looks really good.
Well, this doesn't really. Hold on. Let me see. It's an article, but
Hopefully, he gets this on here.
The San Diego Fleet ones look nice too. I like those.
send it to the group chat.
Ooh,
Okay, I'll just go in
the
there.
San Diego ones are nice, bro.
Yeah,
There it
let's
goes.
see.
All right, I'm pulling it up now.
Okay,
All right,
so
all right.
pass on
Let's go ahead and put that up. Let's see.
All right, so I'm passing on Memphis, passing on San Antonio.
All right, that's the Memphis one right there.
Okay. I think Atlanta. Hold up, let me go.
Oh
back
yeah,
to
those are the
mine.
Memphis jerseys for the AAF.
I like Atlanta's jerseys.
Okay,
Like
San
the
Diego is not.
purple
I mean,
and
San
gold.
Antonio's not too bad. I like those. Those straight.
I swear, this kind of like reminds me of like all pro football when you just put
I know, right? I know, right?
That's what this reminds me of.
The
Arizona's is
Legends one.
tight.
The Atlanta Legends one is nice too.
Arizona Hot Shots, yeah, I like their unis. That's gonna be
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite.
the Arizona one is nice. I'm looking at it right
That's
now.
gonna, yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
nice.
my favorite going in.
Those look like an Oregon type.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like some Oregon type uniforms.
San Diego would be my second.
Yeah, I like the San Diego ones. Look like
Man,
shit.
nobody could convince me that's not Khalil Mack.
I know, right?
Man, yo, they're out here just. Well, hey, it might be. They seem like
They probably
some type of
superimposed
relationship.
a lot of these uniforms on
they
the
just put it
people.
on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looked like something straight out of APF though. That really does.
Yeah. All right. So San Diego,
I like
Arizona's my
really
one, and San Diego. So Arizona and San Diego, my top two uniforms.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as
like.
Orlando's, as long as their home is blue.
Yeah, because I don't like that all white. I
don't make it orange.
Yeah, I don't
make
like
it blue. Yeah,
I don't like that particular Orlando one. That one could be better.
No, I like the away one. I'm saying as long as the home one isn't orange, make it blue.
I don't like the Birmingham ones. They look super bland.
Boring. They look like the old Oakland Raiders almost.
Yeah. It does. I don't like how that looks.
Pee-wee Oakland Raiders.
And the Salt Lake Stallions.
Detroit Lions.
They look like Detroit Lions. They look pretty cool. And hey, I just noticed that Starter is actually making these jerseys. I thought they went out of business.
I was going to say Starter making a comeback.
Yeah, I thought they went out of business.
Are we going to get some new starter jackets though?
I'm not buying them.
Overall, I'll buy for the culture. I'll buy a starter cap for the culture.
Oh, I didn't see those Sandy. Hold on.
Oh, no, the San Diego one's the best ones, bro.
No. Keep going up. The red ones. Who's that?
The red talking about the San Antonio?
San Antonio. Okay, yeah, those are nice.
Those are nice. Yeah,
I don't like that. I don't like that San Antonio. I didn't like the San
Really?
Antonio. Nope.
I don't like how the socks don't match the jersey, but that's a different story.
I know, right?
Wait, hold on. They definitely had this superimposed. That looks like Aaron Decker. Eric Decker.
Eric Decker.
Yeah,
it looks like Eric Decker.
It does.
Who else?
They're like, since you got plenty of time now, since you retired, you might as well go ahead. What quarterback is that?
Now I'm interested to see who are the players that they superimpose these uniforms on.
Wait, is that Derek Carr?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, these
exactly.
Man, y'all trying to fool, man. Whatever. Who's that? Troy Polamalu?
Yeah, that's like Troy Polamalu.
Hold on, now who's the next one?
Yeah, who's number 34? Who's this?
Let me see.
Wow, they really
Frank
did.
Gore?
Man,
oh,
Then who's the running back? Who's this guy playing running back?
Gore, who knows?
On Arizona.
I think that's Frank Gore.
Yeah, it look like Frank Gore.
Yeah, with the black glove. Yeah.
All right, what about this one right here, Birmingham? They look like Jordy Nelson.
I don't know.
Hold on.
I'm looking at the face.
Yeah, because San Diego is definitely Khalil Mack. That's definitely Khalil Mack.
I'm calling bullshit.
Wait a minute, could this one be Shaquan Barkley?
B5 said the running back
Orlando?
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. If Bo Jackson still looks like that at however old he is, there's something wrong. Wait, go back up to the team in white. Hold on, go back up to
this one there.
Yeah.
I think Orlando Apollos. I think that's Saquon.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. My fault.
I don't know. He look kind of small.
The legs don't look big
enough. Yeah, he look kind of small.
Yeah.
This could be some DB, but I don't know who.
I don't know. That
one random player they threw in.
The only reason I say it because if you look closely at the lighting, it kind of reminds me of Giant Stadium.
You talking about off his helmet?
Yeah.
Not just off his helmet, but also off the football.
Yeah.
You can tell that was during the day because that's an NFL football in his hand.
True.
Yeah, it could be.
Jordy Nelson. I don't know.
Look at this over here being photo detectives.
I don't know. Now, who we think this is?
I don't know.
Darrell Revis.
Yep. That's exactly who that is.
Darrell Revis.
Yeah, that is the beard. Oh,
the beard gives it away.
They got Darrell
Revis. Man, they ain't trying to fool nobody, man.
Hey, but nevertheless, the overall the jerseys are pretty dope, though.
Yeah, they are.
They are pretty dope.
Bo Jackson, I see it now.
Yeah, too bad they had to.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Anything else y'all want to add before we go, man? This has been a great podcast, in my opinion. I mean, they always are, but
I can't really
find out who's who in these pictures.
Man, that's Frank Gore right there.
I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did pretty good. I mean,
Nick Stauskas is the NBA Sam Bradford. God damn.
Why you do him like that?
Who said that?
Why you do him like that, man? Come on, man. That man don't deserve that.
Nick Stauskas don't be getting injured every 2 seconds.
Right.
What do y'all think about Foles rejecting that option and going as a free agent?
He betting on himself. He want to go to a team that he basically get to pick the team where he wants to go.
He gonna be a scrub again.
Oh god.
And somebody already said that Washington could be a likely destination. I'm just like, no, we just need to draft a new. And you know what? No, nobody should come to Washington. That's just the way I think. I think we should all boycott going to either the games, signing with the team. I think if Daniel Snyder starts losing money like he has been, he will sell the team, and we can go back to DC and we can start anew, fresh.
No, honestly, I don't see any team right now that would actually want to take Nick Foles because you got to think about it. I mean, he's going for $20 million. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not going to ask for anything less. I know everybody's talking about Jacksonville, but I'm not so sure about that.
Now, let me tell you something. I saw that video of Nick Foles in that jump shot. He playing the wrong sport.
Yeah, I know, right?
Somebody say better jump shot.
I mean, he did play basketball.
He does. Yeah, he high school. I don't know if he played in college.
I know he played. I know he played before he went to the pros.
What about the draft? Draft talk. What draft?
Yeah, I'm not ready to talk about the draft just yet. I mean,
the NFL draft, man. Come on, that's way too far away.
Who wants a 3-hour podcast?
Well, we're about to head out another hour. I don't know what we're gonna talk about for.
I have no idea, right? I appreciate it, but I mean,
right?
Goodness, I don't know, man.
Why don't you just hop on PSN after that?
Yeah, I'm not built for that.
We gonna be digging for topics.
I know, dumpster diving for topics and shit.
Right.
Give me content. Hey, you want content? You know where you can go. It might not be good content, but you're gonna get content. You know where you can go, Pooh.
Yeah, you know exactly where you can go to get content. Definitely be back with more content. Anyway, this is the Framerates Podcast. Myself, DJ, and Bills. Glad that you guys were able to come by and fellowship with us, man, and talk sports and sports gaming. Anything else y'all want to add?
Yeah. No team needs to sell out for Anthony Davis. That's all I'm gonna say.
I can agree. What about you, DJ?
New Orleans, y'all need to stop. Get over it. It's over.
Yeah.
Make it the way you guys are projected. You should be in the Super Bowl. If you don't make it, your team's a total failure. Again.
Oh, next year I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna get into that at another day. But they got what they did this past off. Well, this
that was
past
childish
playoffs,
what they did.
What they
this
yo
past
yo
Sunday.
what
That was
they need
childish.
to put up a seriously. They need to put up a shut up this coming season. Anything less, oh god, no
Man, I would put up money that they're not even gonna win the division next year.
They probably won't even make the playoffs next year.
Right, not even a wild card.
Well, you know they don't have any. You know they don't have any picks until round 4, right?
Yep, exactly.
And I think they're behind the 8 ball like 20 mil over the salary cap. They got problems.
And they got a bunch of free agents, like 20 something of them.
Right. But anyway, I am VF Baller. You can catch yourself on Twitter. Myself, VF Baller, Bills 4th, DJ 81. You can also, if you haven't catch the podcast on other avenues, we're on SoundCloud and on iTunes. The link is in the description of this live stream. You can go there, you can subscribe, you can follow us on there. It always helps to get us out there on a bigger scale outside of YouTube. Got other things in the works. Like I said, last podcast, did not plan on doing a giveaway this week. I'm actually thinking about doing a giveaway, at the end of each month, and it's going to be a bigger, giveaway instead of just giving out a couple of $20 cards.
Yeah, y'all might mess around and get a house or something.
Yeah. It might not have.
I got one more thing. I also got one more thing to say. Somebody put this out there that if you want numbers, Hard 8's available. We probably get him on the show, increase the numbers. He did put it out there, so I'm just saying.
Right. There you go. Anyway, but seriously, we're here just to make the good content, man. We like to sit here and talk. I mean, basically, First and Framerates is basically what we do on PSN. We're just sitting around doing nothing. We're just doing it live.
Yes.
So that's all we're doing is sitting there just talking, and hopefully everybody who enjoys the content. And definitely next Wednesday we will be back. You guys take it easy. Peace.
Peace.